afternoon, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I am Dane, creator of Big Beautiful Disney, and today I am going to be reviewing Rise of Skywalker. I saw it on opening day on Friday, but I had to get my 7 Things video out, so I couldn't do it. So now I'm recording it on Christmas Eve. If you're watching this during Christmas, I hope you have a great Christmas. Happy Christmas. Hope you get everything that you wanted and more. So yeah, brought my notebook. I have some notes in this thing about the movie. So let's get right into the review. So first off, I really like this movie. It's probably one of my favorites in Star Wars. I have a list of my favorite Star Wars. Here we go. My favorite Star Wars. Number 1 is A New Hope. You know, classic Star Wars. Number 2 is Empire Strikes Back. Number 3 would have to be Rise of Skywalker. 4, Rogue One. 5, Return of the Jedi. 6, Force Awakens. 7, Revenge of the Sith. 8, Phantom Menace. 9, Solo. 10, The Last Jedi. And 11, Attack of the Clones. But yeah, I don't know why critics gave this a bad review. I mean, I really like this movie. The ending scene is probably the best in Star Wars, except for the trench scene, of course. That has to be number 1, but probably the second best ending scene in all of Star Wars, and I'll get into that later. But the movie is pretty much ending of Star Wars. I mean, they're promoting at the end of Star Wars, and it pretty much is. I mean, so it opens with Kylo Ren in a Palpatine planet. I forget what the planet's called right now, but Emperor Palpatine has gone, like, his spirit has gone into another body somehow. Not quite sure how that happened. He's alive. That's not really a spoiler. Then we go to Poe, Finn, BB-8 outrunning stormtroopers and getting plans for the Palpatine thing that goes on later in the movie. Then we see Rey. Leia is training her. I'll talk about that in the spoiler later in the video, but that's a big thing right there. Rebels find, or Resistance finds, that Palpatine is back. They need the map that allows them to go into the planet that he's at. So they need to find it. And luckily enough, Luke has been looking for this map. So they already have kinda they know where it is, kind of. So they go on the Millennium Falcon. Poe, BB-8, D-O, which is a new droid, C-3PO, Rey, Finn, already said Poe. Go on the Millennium Falcon. They go on the desert planet, which is not Tatooine or Jakku. Was that the name of the desert planet? Yeah, Jakku. Can they just have one Star Wars planet, or a Star Wars desert planet, please? Because, like, there's 3 at this point. Can they just go on one and stay on one, please? Can there not be 3? Can there not be 3 desert planets of the exact same planet, please? Anyway, they find this ship that Rey's parents were taken on earlier, like when Rey was deserted. They went on this ship that they found. Dio, the new droid, is found on that ship. This isn't that big of a spoiler, but in the scene, Chewie gets captured, and then Rey goes out to find him, but she doesn't, and she sees Kylo Ren coming in a ship, and she jumps over the ship for no reason, which is kind of weird, because it had no, like, it didn't have anything to do with the story. It was kind of like, oh, this is in the trailer, let's put this in the movie here. It didn't do anything. Like literally, it did not do anything to the plot and for the outcome of the movie. The ship crashed. Kylo was okay, of course. They had a kind of battle, and then Chewie is dead because Rey, like, destroyed the ship because she went like this, and like lightning bolts came out of her hands, like onto the ship Chewie was on, which is okay, but Chewie wasn't on the ship, so he's with the First Order now. So that scene did nothing to the movie at all, except show that Rey is more hateful now. But other than that, the scene was completely pointless. So I didn't really. That was probably the one thing I have against this movie, is that scene was completely pointless. It did not do anything to the outcome of the movie, except they found the ship. But that scene where she jumped over the Kylo ship did absolutely nothing to contribute to the story. I don't know. It didn't really make sense why that was there. So Chewie's with the First Order now. They break him out, like, immediately. They crash land on a Death Star planet, which for some reason like half of the Death Star is there. Oh, they find Lando. I'm sorry, I forgot this. They found Lando in the desert planet, Lando Calrissian. He's in this movie. They also find Lando's daughter in the Death Star planet. Kylo and Rey have a battle. That's the poster where they have the battle. Rey escapes. Kylo stays, and he sees Han. Yes, Han. He's in this movie. Han Solo is in this movie, and he talks to Ben Solo. And he talks to Ben. He throws his red lightsaber. He throws it into the ocean, and he becomes good. So, it might be a spoiler. I'm sorry. Did not realize that. I'm sorry. I'll put a thing in editing where it says spoiler. I'm so sorry. Yeah, the Rey Kylo battle was actually pretty cool. Like it was probably in my top 5 of Star Wars battles. I actually have a list here. Luke Vader battle is number 1. Number 2 is Rey Kylo. Number 3 is Obi-Wan Anakin. Then, yeah. I guess it's not a top 5. Sorry. Rey takes Kylo's ship. That's how she escapes. She goes to the planet Luke lived on. She burns the ship. She tries to throw Luke's lightsaber into the flames, except the ghost of Luke grabs the lightsaber. He talks to Rey. That's a spoiler, not going to get into that. Rey finds the map that leads her into Palpatine's planet. The whole resistance follows her to the planet, and then this is where it gets really, really interesting. So, yeah, like, all of this is spoilers. So, yeah, I guess we're gonna start talking about spoiler talk now. So if you haven't seen the movie, click off of the video now, or mute the video. Spoilers in 3, 2, 1. Rey is Palpatine's daughter. Yeah, Rey's a Palpatine. If Rey kills Palpatine, she will become part of the First Order. So she can't really do that. So what happens is that Ben comes to, because he also has the map, comes to the Palpatine planet, fights a bunch of stormtroopers, goes to where Rey is and Palpatine is. Rey and Kylo bond is so strong that Palpatine, like, takes their power, and now he's, like, immortal. So he is full power now. There's only a couple of resistance ships on that planet. So they are outnumbered and First Order is gonna win the battle. Palpatine kills Kylo by throwing him off or like force pushing him off like the mountain. Rey watches the rebels lose pretty much, except the rest of the resistance comes into the planet. It's like the end scene of Endgame. All the resistance ships come, start fighting. Finn and Lando's daughter is on like the main ship. So Kylo comes back, like he somehow climbs up like the not mountain, because it's not a mountain, a platform. That's what I'm gonna call it, a platform. He somehow climbs back up onto like the platform that Rey and Palpatine are on, and he kills Palpatine. Rey dies. I'm saying in quotation marks because somehow the Jedi can revive people now. I did not rewatch the original Star Wars when I was going to see this, so somehow they can revive people like Harry Potter now. I don't know. Could Jedis do that before? I don't think they can. I don't think they could. Anyway, Kylo heals Rey. Rey's fine, but Kylo is so weak that the rest of the energy he has goes into Rey, so Kylo dies. Kylo Ren is dead. Ben Solo is dead. The Rebels win, or Resistance wins, of course. Oh, this is the biggest spoiler in the movie. Princess Leia dies. This was coming, but this was coming because Carrie Fisher passed away, but that was probably the saddest scene in the movie. That was a tough scene. I mean, they had Maz there, and she put the blanket over Leia's body. That was pretty tough. But at the very end scene, after the Resistance goes back to their base, they're hugging and everything. The very end scene, Rey goes to Luke's old home, and oh, this is also a big spoiler. Leia is a Jedi, and I did not like that decision in J.J. Abrams' part. I don't know if that's an original concept by George Lucas, and rewatching the Star Wars now, there was a hint that Leia is a Jedi, but it didn't, come out fully. But, yeah, Leia isn't a Jedi. Like, I know she can use a blaster, but she's a princess. She isn't a Jedi. If she was a Jedi, then she would have a lightsaber in Return of the Jedi Empire. She's not a Jedi. That did not make any sense to me. Why is she training to be a Jedi if she's never going to become one? It didn't... Why would she be training if she's never used a lightsaber before in any of the Star Wars movies? I don't know. It didn't make sense. So, Rey got Leia's lightsaber and Luke's lightsaber, goes to Tatooine, buries the two lightsabers outside of Luke's old home with Aunt Beru and... Oh, what are the names? I'm sorry. I haven't watched the Star Wars in a long time. Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. He buries the lightsaber outside of their home. Someone, I don't know their name, someone comes and says, "Who are you?" And Rey says, looks over her shoulder, and Luke and Leia are standing there and goes for him, and she says, "Rey Skywalker," and then the thing ends, the movie ends. So, yeah, Rise of Skywalker is very good. I mean, the critics are saying that, but this is one of the best Star Wars movies I've ever seen. And yeah, characters now. Rey, strong character. I felt that she was strong in Force Awakens, but in Force Awakens, she had a much bigger part than any other movies. In Force Awakens, she was kind of downplayed by Finn, I felt. Last Jedi, to be honest, I don't really want to remember Last Jedi, so don't really care about that movie. She probably had a bigger part in Last Jedi. No, she probably had a bigger part in this one than Last Jedi. Finn, he's a great character. He's probably my favorite in, like, the newer Star Wars. Finn is probably my favorite character. Poe, much bigger part than any of the other movies. He was kind of just a side character, but in this one, he's a main character. So this was his big movie. Leia only was in half of the movie in human form. She came back in a ghost at the end. But, yeah, she had a strong part. Luke, he was in ghost form, if you didn't know. This is a spoiler, but you probably should have seen Last Jedi by now. He died in Last Jedi. He came back in ghost form, talked to Rey, that was kind of cool. But considering that it was called The Rise of Skywalker, Luke didn't have a big part in this. Like, considering that, and the Rise of Skywalker name is kind of weak, I think they should have another name. But Luke Skywalker did not have a big part in this. I mean, considering that the movie's named after him, he didn't, and I know he's dead, but there was only like one reference. In like The Force Awakens, he had a bunch of references. There was only one reference to Luke Skywalker and his ghost form. So, I don't know. That was kind of a letdown too. Kylo is the same Kylo, except he does become good at the end of the movie. So that was kind of cool. Han talked to Kylo, kind of mended his bond with Kylo, kind of. That was kind of cool. Trying to think if there's... Oh, Lando Calrissian is a small part... Oh, hi, kitty. How you doing? I forgot to bring her out of my room when I was recording this. Anyway, Lando has a small part, but he's a side character in all the other films. I think he's gonna get the Millennium Falcon back. Now that Han is gone and Rey is off doing whatever she wants, yeah, I think he's gonna get the Millennium Falcon back. Chewie. How can I forget about Chewie? He was a side character too. He didn't have a main role as he usually does. He died in this film. He didn't die. He, for some reason, was not on the ship that Rey blew up. How was he not? But whatever. Chewie didn't die. I thought he did. I was very scared in the theater, but Chewie's okay. I think he's gonna go with Lando again. What other characters are there? I didn't write this down in my notebook. I should have. What are the characters? Palpatine. Palpatine was probably the stupidest character in this whole movie. I did not see the point of him being back. Like, he's the biggest... He's the whole reason this movie is a thing, but it didn't really make sense on how he came back, because he wasn't in ghost form. He literally came back to life, and I don't know how he did that. I guess he's still powerful, but if he was powerful to do that, he would have been powerful enough in human form. He wouldn't need Rey and Kylo's bond to become powerful again. So it didn't... Palpatine wasn't really smart in his role in this movie. Trying to think if there's any other, Darth Vader helmet didn't, just on display. R2. It really makes me mad that R2 doesn't have a big role in these films. He had a huge role in the first three, and the second three, but he has no presence in these movies at all. And it doesn't make sense that C-3PO is a bigger role than R2. R2 and C-3PO are best friends. Why is C-3PO a bigger character in these movies than R2? Well, they're trying to make BB-8 and C-3PO friends now, and it doesn't make any sense. Dio is a new droid. He's kind of cool. He could talk like human language, like C-3PO. Don't really get why he's a new character. I don't think they should have any new characters, because Lando's daughter, I don't really know her name, had like zero character development. She only had one scene that she kind of developed her character. Dio couldn't really do that either because he was a droid. You pretty much know zero things about him when he comes in the movie and when you exit. BB-8 is the same BB-8. I mean, it just beefs around, rolls around. I don't know why he's in the Hollywood Studios logo. Don't ask me. They should have R2 in there. I know he's this century's R2, but just put R2 in there. BB-8 had 3 films now. C-3PO, it's annoying as ever. I mean, I love C-3PO, but he can be annoying sometimes, and that's pretty much why he's a thing in the Star Wars films, unfortunately. Go see this film. This is one of my favorite Star Wars films. I mean, it's great. I mean, like I said before, the ending scene is probably the second best ending scene in all of Star Wars. Critics don't know what they're talking about. This is a good film. You gotta go see it. I tweeted about it as soon as I saw it. So go follow my Twitter. Go follow my Instagram as well. Links in the description below. And I hope you have a great Christmas. Happy Christmas, everyone. Comment what's your favorite gift you got tomorrow. And I'll see you later. Have a magical day, everyone.